I'm going to show you how to make these adorable matching booties for the crochet bear hat. And you can make this crochet bear hat just like this, or you can do the soft inner lining, and I show you how to do both in my other video. But in this video I'm just going to show you how to make the matching little booties. Here are your little baby booties, and they have little buttons on the side. This button on this side, and they have the cute little faces. Here's the bottom of them, and then here is the back, and then each one has a little loop to strap the shoe on. And then it has the matching hat to go with it. For this project I used my G crochet hook, or 4mm crochet hook, and I used my tapestry needle and a pair of scissors, and also some white thread and the sewing needle to sew your button on. And the buttons I used are from Favorite Findings, and they have all these different pastel colors, and I used the pastel green color. And this is the yarn that I used to match the bear hat, and it's from Pound of Love Lion Brand yarn, and this color is pastel green. For the eyes I used Karen's Simply Soft, the white colored yarn, and then I used Royal Blue from Red Heart Super Saver, and then I just used a black yarn also from Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo. Okay, go ahead and take the color of yarn that you want to use for the booty, and then we're going to do a slip knot. You just fold the yarn over on itself to form a loop, and I'm using my G crochet hook, or 4mm crochet hook. Just going to hold the base of the loop with your middle finger and thumb, and then you just yarn over, turn the hook upside down, and go through that loop for a slip knot. And now you're going to chain 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you can either do the same size as me, or if you want to do a slightly bigger booty, you can check the size of your baby's foot and then just keep chaining to whatever size that you want. For this size though, 0 to 3 months, we're going to do a chain 12. Now you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, and that's going to count as your first half double crochet. Now you're going to yarn over, and you're going to go into the chain that you're holding with your thumb and middle finger, or the third chain from the hook. You're going to bring up a loop. You have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for a half double crochet, and then you're going to do a half double crochet in every stitch all the way back to where you started. So go ahead and finish doing a half double crochet in every stitch, and then come back. I just did my half double crochet in my last stitch. Now I'm going to turn the corner and start working on the opposite side. So I'm going to do a half double crochet in another one in the same stitch as I'm turning the corner. So you're doing a total of 3 half double crochets in that end stitch. And at the same time, I'm going to bury this loose yarn end as I'm working. So now in your next stitch over, you're going to do a half double crochet on the opposite side. And I'm burying that loose yarn end as I work. And then I'm going to do a half double crochet all the way back across to the other end. I'm going to do one more, and then I'm going to cut the loose yarn end because I've buried it enough. So when you're ready, you can go ahead and cut your loose yarn end. And then keep going across, keep doing half double crochets all the way to the end, and then come back. Okay, so I did my last half double crochet in the last stitch on the opposite side. I'm going to do one more half double crochet in the same stitch. And then I'm going to do a slip stitch. So I'm going to go into that top stitch of that first half double crochet, yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. Now I'm going to chain 2, 1, 2, and then I'm going to do a half double crochet into every stitch. So in this first stitch, I'm going to do 2 half double crochet, 1, 2, and then I'm going to do 1 half double crochet in each of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the next 10 stitches, you're just going to do 1 half double crochet into every stitch and then come back. Now in the next stitch, you're going to do 2 half double crochets in the same stitch as we turn the corner. 1, 2, and then on the end, you're going to do 1 half double crochet. And then in the next corner, you're going to do 2 half double crochet in the next stitch. And then you're going to do 1 half double crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. In the next 11 stitches, you're going to do 1 half double crochet into every stitch and then come back. Now you're going to do 2 half double crochets into the next stitch. 1, 2, and then you're going to go ahead and join with a slip stitch. So go to the top stitch of that first half double crochet you did, yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops for a slip stitch. Now you're going to go ahead and chain 2, 1, 2, and now we're going to do half double crochet cross stitches for the design of the little booty. So you're going to skip the next stitch. So yarn over, skip a stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for a half double crochet, yarn over, go into the skipped stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for your cross stitch. And then yarn over, you're going to skip a stitch, so you're going to skip this next stitch, work in the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for a half double crochet, yarn over, and then go into that skipped stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. And then you're just forming half double crochet cross stitches all the way around. Yarn over, skip a stitch, go into the next stitch. It's my last one I'll do with you. Yarn over, go into the last skipped stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3 for a half double crochet. So keep doing half double crochet cross stitches all the way around back to the beginning and then come back. You should be back to that beginning half double crochet. So this was your first half double crochet that you did right here. And we're going to do our last half double crochet cross stitch by going across that half double crochet. So you're going to go in between this half double crochet and your first cross stitch into this stitch right here. So right in this stitch right below, let me get a little bit closer. So here's your first half double crochet. We're going to go into this stitch right here. So you're going to yarn over, and then you're going to go into that stitch. You're going to bring up a loop. You're going to yarn over and go through all three for a half double crochet. Then you're going to go into that first stitch of that first half double crochet you did. You're going to yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook to finish the end. And now we're going to do one more row of the half double crochet cross stitch around. So you're going to chain 2, 1, 2, you're going to yarn over, you're going to skip a stitch, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through all three for a half double crochet. Then you're going to yarn over, go into the skipped stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go through all three for a half double crochet cross stitch. And you're just going to repeat, do the same thing that you did on the previous row all the way around, and then come back and I'll show you how to slip stitch the row and do that last half double crochet cross stitch. I'm at the end, right where my first half double crochet stitch is, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the previous row. I'm going to yarn over, and then I'm going to go into that stitch right between that first half double crochet and the first cross stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all three for a half double crochet, and then I'm going to do a slip stitch by going into that top stitch of that first half double crochet, yarn over and bring the yarn through both. Now I'm going to do a single crochet into the next stitch. I'm going to do a single crochet so a single crochet into every stitch for the next 8 stitches. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm going to do a half double crochet decrease. So I'm going to yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, then I have 5 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 5 for a half double crochet decrease. And then I'm going to do that for the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 half double crochet decreases. So I'm going to do that with you. So that's 4. We have 2 more. Five, and 6. Now you're going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way back around to where you started. When you get back to your first single crochet that you created, you're going to go ahead and do a slip stitch yarn over and bring the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch. And then you're going to go into chain 1, and then you're going to go into the next stitch over and do a single crochet. And you're going to do 1 single crochet into the next 7 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then we're going to do half double crochet decreases all the way around back to the other side. I'm going to do them with you. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over, go into the next stitch, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through all 5 for a half double crochet decrease. It's our second half double crochet decrease. We're going to do 2 more. And we're actually going to do 1 more half double crochet decrease. And now you're just going to do 1 single crochet into every stitch all the way back to the beginning. And then you're going to do a slip stitch into that first single crochet. And this is how your work is looking. Now you're going to go ahead and finish off. So you yarn over and just pull enough yarn to bury into your work. Now from where you finished off, you're going to count over 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces to put your crochet hook. And then you're going to take your yarn and hook the yarn to bring it through. You're going to chain 1 and then tie a knot. And then you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to count as your first double crochet. And we're going to bury the loose yarn in that we just tied our knot with. As we work, we're going to do the back of the shoe. So yarn over, go into the next stitch over, bring up a loop, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through 2, yarn over and go through 2. So yarn over, go into the next stitch, and we're just going to keep doing double crochets for the back part of the shoe until we're even with the other side. So that's 4, 5, 6, and I can go ahead and cut my loose yarn end. That was 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now I'm coming up on my other loose yarn end. I'm just going to bury that as well. 8, 9, 10, 11, and I'm just going to look and make sure, and I've lined up with the other side. I'm going to go ahead and cut my loose yarn in. And now I'm going to start my strap. And actually, this is where you'll have to determine if you are doing your strap for the right foot, you'll have your button on the outside. Since I'm doing one for the left foot now, I want the button to be on this side. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off. But since you're doing your strap on this side, what you would do, if you're doing it for the other side, just chain one. And then you're going to go into the space behind that last double crochet, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet, then you chain one, turn your work, go into that first chain, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet, and you're just going to keep doing turning, chain one, turn, single crochet in the next space over, and you can see how you're forming your strap. And then when you get to the length you want to cover the front of the ankle, then what you're going to do is chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. So you go through the next stitch, you're going to yarn over and bring it through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch, and then you have a little button loop for your strap. But if you're doing the other side like what I'm doing, I'm going to go ahead and finish off. So I'm going to yarn over and pull enough yarn to bury into my work. And then I'm going to go to the other side. Now I'm on the other side. I'm going to put my hook through the top of that first double crochet. I'm going to hook my yarn. I'm going to chain one, and then I'm going to tie a knot. And now I'm going to go behind that first double crochet, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through both. Then I'm going to chain one, turn, go into that next space over, bring up a loop, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet, chain one, turn, go into the next space, and I'm just going to do the same thing. Just going to make the length of my strap. And then just keep checking to see the size that you want for your strap. And I think I want about 2 more. You can see how your strap will look. And then once you have the size of the strap that you want, you're going to do the same thing. You just chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch over, and then you're going to finish off. Yarn over and then just bring enough yarn to bury into the work. And now you have your little button loophole. And now you can sew your button on the other side. But first, go ahead and bury your loose yarn ends. Just take your tapestry needle and take your loose yarn end, put it onto your tapestry needle, and then I usually bury it on the inside. Just take your tapestry needle and weave it in to the inside of the shoe. And then on the inside of the shoe, you just kind of bury the loose yarn in on the inside like this. And then once you have it buried, just cut it. So go ahead and bury all of your loose yarn ends, and then come back and I'll show you how to sew the button on and make the face for the front of the booty. Now you can take your button and take your sewing needle and some white thread or whatever color thread that you want to sew your button on. And just remember that these can be choking hazards for babies, so just don't leave it alone with the baby. And make sure that you know that that is, sorry about that. So you can sew your button on and you can see how the little button loop will close up the shoe. And like I said, this can be a choking hazard, so just be careful. Make sure you sew it on really well and that the baby can't get a hold of it if you're making this for the baby. And now we're going to do the eyes. For the eyes, we're going to use 3 colors, but we're going to start with, you can start with whatever color you want for your eyes. I'm using blue, so we're going to do a magic circle. Just drape it around your 2 middle fingers. Actually, drape it along the 4 like this and stabilize with your thumb. Then wrap it around your 2 middle fingers and then hold it in place with your pinky and your thumb. And I'm still using my G crochet hook or 4mm crochet hook. Just go under those 2 loops. Bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. Now you're going to chain 3, or actually I'm going to do 3 single crochet into the magic circle. So here's 1 single crochet, 2 single crochet, and 3 single crochet. And then you take your forefinger and thumb and take it and hold it at the base of the 3 single crochet. And then you have the 2 loops on the opposite side of the magic circle. Just pull on one. If it doesn't pull closed, let go and pull on the other one, but this one's closing. Close it loosely. Then take your loose yarn in and pull on that. And then you're going to take your crochet hook. You're going to go into that first stitch. Go ahead and go into that first stitch with your crochet hook, just like this. And then you're going to pull up a loop. And now you're going to join the white color. So you're going to take the white yarn and then hook it and bring it through. And then chain 1. Then you're going to take and cut your blue yarn because you don't need that anymore. Move that out of the way and then tie a knot. And then you're going to do a single crochet into the next stitch. And then you're going to do 1 more single crochet in the same stitch. And then you're going to do a single crochet in the next stitch. And then you're going to join the black yarn. Hook the black yarn and bring it through. And then you're going to chain 1. And then you're going to take and cut the white yarn because you don't need that anymore. And then move that out of the way. And then you're going to tie a knot with the loose end on the black yarn. And then you're going to turn your work because you're going to work along the white yarn. So you're going to go into that next stitch on the white yarn, bring up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through both for a single crochet, and then you're going to do 1 more single crochet in the next stitch, and then you're going to finish off and just bring enough yarn to sew the eye onto the booty. And then you just need to make 2 of these, and then I'm going to show you how to make the nose. Now for the nose, you're just going to take your black yarn, drape it across your 4 fingers. We're going to do a magic circle, stabilize with your thumb, wrap the yarn around your 2 middle fingers twice and hold it with your pinky and your thumb. And we're still using the G crochet hook or 4mm crochet hook. Go under those 2 loops, bring up a loop, yarn over, turn the hook upside down and go through that loop for a slip knot. Then you're going to do 6 single crochet into the magic circle. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then take your forefinger and thumb, hold it at the base. You have those 2 loops again on the other side. Pull on one. If it doesn't close, let go and pull on the other one. This one's closing. Close it loosely. Take that loose yarn in and pull on that. Now you're going to take your crochet hook and go into that first stitch. And then you're going to yarn over and pull the yarn through both loops on the hook for a slip stitch, and then you're going to finish off and bring enough yarn through to sew the nose onto the booty. Now we're going to sew the eyes and the nose onto the booty, just like this. So for the eyes, you're going to take your tapestry needle and you're just going to pull each of these yarn ends into the inside of the booty. Now you can see how I pulled all the yarn ends on the inside of the booty. Now I can take and tie knots on the inside. So go ahead and tie knots on the inside. And then once you have your knots tied, then you can just cut the loose yarn ends so that they'll be on the inside and no one can see them. Then you just take your tapestry needle and sew your nose on the same way, and you have your little booties. And each booty has a little button on the side, and then here you have a button on this side as well. And then on the inside you can bury your loose yarn ends, or you can just kind of tuck them in there so they can't be seen. And then you have your cute little baby booties. Here are your little baby booties, and they have little buttons on the side. This button on this side. And they have the cute little faces. Here's the bottom of them. And then here is the back. And then this, each one has a little loop to strap the shoe on. And then it has the matching hat to go with it.